Sorry.
No, no,
I jumped the gun. No.
no, that's fine.
No, I thought that the court is done with this witness.
Pardon?
I thought that this witness would be excused now.
Oh, I see, I see. Thank you very much
Thank you, my lady.
for your assistance.
I call
You may be
Maria
excused.
Lupus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I call Maria Lupus. My lady, again, exact same position. I also seek an order as far as she's concerned.
Yes. I grant the order as asked.
As good, please.
The witness may be sworn in.
What are your full names, ma'am?
Maria Lucas.
Maria Lucas is the witness's name, Your Worship. Ma'am, do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
No.
Doesn't have any objection, Your Worship. You consider it to be binding on your conscience?
Yes.
If so, do you swear that the evidence you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If so, just raise your right hand up and say, shall help me God.
So help me God.
Witness is sworn in, Maria.
Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Madam, the previous witness, Mr. Jason Lupus, do you know him?
Yes.
Who's he?
My husband.
It's your husband. There's not a lot in dispute as far as this count is concerned. At the day at your restaurant at Tasha's, the accused and 3 other friends were there, and the incident happened. You were there.
Yes.
Just, you heard a loud noise, did you?
Yes.
You heard a loud noise?
Yes.
What happened then? After.
There was just silence in the restaurant. I stayed seated and then my husband came and told me what
You'd have to
happened.
speak a little louder.
Sorry.
Okay, you said, let's do it again. You say there was a loud noise. What happened then?
I stayed seated and my husband came and told me what happened.
You were seated, where were you?
Outside, in the outside seating area.
In the outside seating area. And your husband told you what?
That a gunshot had gone off.
What did you then do?
I asked if anyone went and spoke to them. He said yes, and then I also went and spoke to them.
You went there to talk to them?
To Darren.
Okay, you say to Darren.
Yes.
Do you know the people at the table?
I knew 3 people at the table.
Who did you know?
Darren, Kevin, and Oscar. Not personally, but I knew of him.
Okay. Let us just then, there's a file in front of you. There's photographs open. Could you see if you can find 1138? It's not in dispute that number 1 is where the accused Oscar Pistorius sat. Number 2 is where Kevin. And where did Fresco sit?
Four.
and number 4. So you went to the table.
Yes.
What happened when you got to the table?
I asked what had happened.
Yes. What? Who said what?
Just Darren spoke to me and he told me the gun fell out of his pants, his tracksuit pants, and went off. And then I asked him, but what's the first rule of owning a gun? Safety first.
I didn't hear that.
I asked him what was the first rule of owning a gun. Shouldn't it be safety first? And he said yes, and then I hit him over the head.
But when you asked him, did the accused say anything, Mr. Pistorius?
No.
Did the accused, Mr. Pistorius, give you any explanation that day?
No.
When you approached them, were you alone?
I went with my friend.
With your friend?
Yes.
Was your husband present?
No.
I've nothing further.
Yes, Mr. Roo.
Thank you, my lady. Ms. Lupus, I can't say that you were there, but I've put it to your husband that Mr. Pistorius, in fact, apologized to your husband and offered to pay for the damages and paid for the bill.
I saw him take out his credit card and pay for the bill.
I didn't get
I'm
that
so sorry,
answer.
I said I saw him pay for the bill.
Oh, so you weren't there, you just saw him paying for the bill. Then the other thing, you did not know until your husband told you that it was a gun that went off.
No, didn't know.
It was a sound, a hard sound.
A very, very loud sound.
Understanding from your husband's evidence, he thought it might be a gun or it might be a balloon.
It was louder than a balloon.
Oh.
It was much louder than a balloon.
But you did not know it was a gun.
No.
Thank you, my lady.
My lady, I've got one more question. I think it would be new evidence. I beg leave to just ask one question. I'm sure Mr. Roo will be able to challenge that after I've asked the question. It's just something that slipped my mind. I forgot to ask.
I'll allow that.
Madam, in the restaurant, if you turn to photograph, let's go 1134. Now, the accused were at that table where the red arrow is. Were there people next to them?
Yes, there was.
What do you remember of the people next to them?
There's no chair there now, but there was a chair facing on the side there, and there was a child sitting there.
A child in a chair.
Yeah.
So that chair, as you indicate, just have a look at the screen and just indicate the court and I'll
The
describe
chair
it.
was here.
So there was a chair between the accused table and the next table.
Yes.
And there was a child sitting on that chair.
That's right.
I have nothing further on that.
Yes, Mr. Roo.
Maybe just to put it on record, on the side of the table and on the other side there's solid walls
On which side?
where Mr. Pistorius was sitting.
In the yes.
Thank you, my lady.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Lopez, thank you very much for your assistance.
Thank
You
you.
may be excused.
May it please the court, I'm then forced to ask that we adjourn till tomorrow. We have that witness standing down and we're doing what we can to ensure that we get the notes.
Thank you. We start at 9:30 tomorrow. Court will adjourn.
Milady?
Thank you very much
Thank you, my lady.
for your assistance.
Ek voel
You may be
Maria
excused.
Lupus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I call Maria Lupus. My lady, again, exact same position. I also seek an order as far as she's concerned.
Yes. I grant the order as asked.
As good, please. Sorry.
No, no,
I jumped the gun. No.
no, that's fine.
No, I thought that the court is done with this witness.
Pardon?
I thought that this witness would be excused now.
Oh, I see, I see.